Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me how turning to Allah can lead you to amazing changes in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back with another uplifting story that will, by the grace of Allah, strengthen your faith and renew your hope, inshaAllah. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Pour yourself a cup of something you love, get comfortable, let's get started with our story. The sister of this story says, Allah, alhamdulillah, blessed me with a righteous husband. He was the only son in his family and had one sister. So it was just the two of them. His father was just like him, kind, but his mother was a strict woman. She married off her son just to ensure that he would have children. As soon as I married my husband, maybe 2 weeks into our marriage, his mother started saying, "So is there any news? Is there any sign of a baby?" I asked her to be patient and to give it some time. My pregnancy was delayed for 6 months, and I had known I had a health problem and informed my husband beforehand. But his mother would keep saying, "Are you pregnant yet?" Still nothing. After 6 months of marriage, she started threatening me, saying things like, "If you have health issues, I'll find him another wife and you'll still be with us." As a new bride, her words hurt me deeply, and I would cry and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while sending blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Salat Ibrahimiyah form. A short while after, Allah blessed me in the most beautiful way. I cried so much as I found out I was pregnant. I was overjoyed and grateful. I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. However, my mother-in-law wanted a boy. He was her only son, and she wanted him to have boys to inherit their wealth. She was happy that I was okay and could conceive, but she wanted us to have another baby straight after in the hopes I'd have a boy. When my daughter was about 1.5 years, I decided to try for another baby, hoping this would calm my mother-in-law down a bit, even though my health wasn't strong enough to handle another pregnancy. Allah blessed us with another baby girl, and my husband and I were very happy and content. We felt so blessed. However, my mother-in-law's dissatisfaction only increased. She kept pushing and telling me, "You need to have a son." She kept telling my husband, "You must have a boy, figure it out." It was like she was objecting to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She wouldn't stop. She pressured my husband and I relentlessly. After having my second daughter, the doctor told me that a third pregnancy would be dangerous for my life, and it would lead to a hysterectomy or even death. We consulted religious scholars, and they confirmed that in cases like mine, where it is life-threatening, it is permissible not to have more children. Despite the warnings from the doctors, my mother-in-law kept pressuring us. One day, she even went as far as arranging a potential marriage for my husband behind our backs. Word got back to my husband, and he was so angry and confronted her. "How could you do this? I have daughters who are too young even to say mom or dad, and you want to destroy our family for them?" She tried to justify herself. "I'm not breaking up your family. Your wife can stay, but you need a son." He told her, "I don't want any more children. Allah blessed me with 2 daughters, and they are the greatest blessings in my life." He kept trying to convince her, saying, "These girls are my joy, and if I raise them well, I will enter paradise because of them. I chose my wife for who she is, and I don't care if we have sons or not." His mother couldn't see or hear what he was saying. She just wanted a boy. This continued for 5 years. My youngest was 5 years old. I would cry and spend so many days miserable and sad because of this situation, to the point I told my husband, please your mother and go get married." He told me that he would never marry another woman and emphasized his love for me and for our daughters. I could get married to a second, a third, and a fourth and still have only daughters. "I chose you. I want you to be the mother of my children. I am happy and content. If I had 1,000,000 boys, I won't love them as much as I love our daughters." Salat al-Ibrahimiyah is known for its incredible blessings that ease stress, reduce worries, and help solve problems. And I had known this for a while. So I decided I would dedicate an hour before Fajr, where I would pray the night prayer, and on days where I couldn't pray, I'd wake up just to make dua and send salawat on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I would make lots of dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides my mother-in-law and helps her understand that everything is in His hands. I also asked for relief from the constant pressure and nagging about having a boy. I made lots of dua and sent blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Salat Ibrahimiyah way, and after 2 to 3 weeks, unexpectedly, I discovered that I was pregnant again, despite all the precautions I took. The doctors straight out told me I'd die. The doctors made it very clear that my life was at risk and that the best course of action for my well-being would be to terminate the pregnancy as soon as possible, as delaying it could have severe consequences. When I went to the doctor for a checkup, the baby had a heartbeat. The doctors advised me to terminate the pregnancy, saying it was too risky. I was heartbroken. Termination felt wrong, like taking a life. We consulted religious scholars again, and they told me that because it's a life and death situation and the baby had not yet reached the point of having a soul, which happens around the 4th month, it would be permissible to end the pregnancy, as I was still in the early stages. I cried. I never wanted to be in a situation like this ever. I've always known that terminating a pregnancy was haram, and it's like killing. I couldn't stop crying. How could I possibly do that? I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and my husband and my family got really upset and mad with me, fearing my life. You must go and terminate this pregnancy, otherwise you'd be killing yourself. I went several times to terminate the pregnancy, but something inside me wouldn't allow me to do it. I felt as if my soul would leave my body. Either way, I felt I was going to die. So I chose to die giving birth, rather than die whilst taking my baby's life. My husband, worried about me, urged me to reconsider. I felt it was in the hands of Allah at this point. When I reached the 9th month, I found out I was carrying a boy. I was overwhelmed with mixed emotions. I couldn't stop crying. Joy for my son and for my daughters that they have a baby brother, and sadness that I won't be able to raise them and won't see my son. I kept sending blessings on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam all night. I knew that ultimately it was in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of what the doctors had said. I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying, "Oh Allah, save me from this and allow me to be there for my children. Grant me the happiness of seeing my baby boy." After making dua, I felt a comfort. It was almost like I could see my son already. I saw my daughters and my son. The day I had been waiting for had arrived. I felt a mix of excitement and sadness as I got ready for the operation. After the C-section, I woke up and opened my eyes and saw my husband and my family all around me, overjoyed. I thought to myself, Alhamdulillah, I've passed the dangerous stage. My heart was filled with so much gratitude, I couldn't control my tears. My next thought was they must have performed the hysterectomy, as they had told me it was inevitable. Alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful that it came to that and my life was spared. I was talking to my husband and I told him that I'm content about the hysterectomy. But my husband said, no, nothing happened. The doctor said it was a miracle, your uterus is fine. I burst into tears, thanking Allah for this miracle, surrounded by my loved ones and my healthy newborn son. I couldn't contain my happiness. Alhamdulillah. How loving and kind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to us. Alhamdulillahi hamdan kathiran. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.